Wow. Last night's game against the Warriors was a freaking roller coaster, to say the least. There is a lot to unpack, a lot to break down, and honestly, so much to improve before we take on the Broncos next week. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Geordie. I am a diehard Tigers fan. Make sure you like and subscribe this video. Also, drop a comment because it helps me and the algorithm out a ton. We have so much to be freaking pumped about this year as Tigers fans, and I just hope that you are feeling the same way. So make sure you watch through all the way through this video because we have a lot to unpack. So let's just start with the fact that we were behind with the 8-ball before the kickoff even happened. We're talking Adam Dewey down with a groin injury in the warm-up, which was just about the worst possible start we could have hoped for or had, you know what I'm saying? Like, that forced Jack Bird to step in last minute, and for a guy who wasn't expecting to be playing in that role for that long, I thought he did an incredibly solid job, to be honest with you. Like, he had some strong moments, really gave it his all overall, and didn't like look out of place whatsoever. With all which it's all you can really ask for in a situation right like that. But when you are forced to make adjustments like that on the fly, it's always going to shake up your team's rhythm, no doubt. Like, defensively, we had some serious issues that we need to fix ASAP going forward. Our line speed was definitely poor at times. We were just giving the Warriors way too much space to run, to make speed and momentum, and there were moments where it just felt like we were standing around gas and letting them march up the field with enough without any resistance whatsoever. And this happened time and time again, and we can't let this happen against the Brisbane Broncos next week because they will punish us on that if we give them that kind of room. We also had too many moments where we just were slow to react. Like, there were times where we should have been like rushing up in defense, right, closing the gaps, applying pressure, but instead we were just caught wasting, hesitating, and just waiting and giving them just extra meters that they didn't need to be getting, and helping their big boys get through that line. Now, I get it. We had injuries right off the bat with Dewey, and like Gerald Skelton was already missing, which meant Fatape had to step in. And to be honest, I am still not sold on him just yet. There were moments where he was out of position, moments where he wasn't communicating well enough with the guys around him, and that led to the Warriors exposing our edges, breaking the line, and getting points on the board. He also dropped the ball on that kickoff, which, I don't know, was just one of those things you cannot afford to be doing it in games like this, and really rubbed me the wrong way. But at the same time, there were definitely flashes of potential from him when he applied himself and committed. I mean, Lachlan Galvin put in a beautiful little grubber kick. I believe it was in the left-hand corner, and Fatape did well to chase it down and, you know, grab it and score. And that with him, and just showing like his athleticism with that, he's just got the skills, and but the consistency just isn't there yet. I believe they would actually love to have him on the show, all of him down the road, but he just has to be more consistent. And I want to try and get him on the show as well and just talk footy with him, get inside his mind and like what keeps him ticking, because there is something I think he truly does have to offer once he unlocks that and becomes consistent. Let's jump more towards like the footy as a whole. Like, the first half though, it was a rough half. There is no way around it. It just wasn't good footy. We saw people like Taruva go off for an HIA, and honestly, I thought it was like an ankle or a hip issue at first, though that was a bit of a weird one that threw me and you guys off on the live stream. And there was that like late penalty call that gave them that 2-point shot on goal. I believe it was in the second half, and like that really had Tigers heads and fans turning. Like, even Benji Marshall in that post-game interview basically said, look, you all saw what happened. I can't say anything because I will get fined. But we all saw what happened. Like, we all knew, and he was right with that. Like, the calls were just questionable throughout the night, and at the end of the day, we can't use that as an excuse, but we did have to overcome a lot of adversity in this game. Not just the ref calls, but like also the way the Warriors big forwards were gassing us out early and running, and they were trying to get through the middle. We were struggling, man. Like, we were just all over the place, but once we started spreading the ball wide, creating space, and using that lethal back line, that's when we started started to look extremely dangerous and tries started coming in, right? That's where our real magic just started to shine, and that was the beautiful chip and chase from Galvin up to Taruva. And I swear, if Taruva wasn't tackled there with no support, that could have been a game-changing moment. But unfortunately, there was a turnover there. But that's also it's those little moments that are going to cost us if we don't continue working on them. We were holding down in tackles. We didn't need to be doing that. Like, giving away cheap penalties. There were a few high shots, I won't lie. Some of them legit, but some of them were also bad calls. Like, I believe it was on Safe-Off, that one. Like, either way, we've got to play clean footy because we already know that the refs aren't going to be giving us the benefit of the doubt majority of the time, especially when we're not at Leichhardt. And then the second half, though, that was a different story, in my opinion. We did start to turn it up. You know, there was that unity. I don't know what Benji said at halftime, but whatever it was, it started working. We came out firing. Terrell May was playing like a man possessed. Fonua was absolutely hammering into their defensive line, and then we saw that bulldozing try from Polo. I don't believe that was that first or second. I don't remember. Either way, he still got on the board. Stafford Toa was on the wing and looked dangerous every time he got the ball. Even with all of that, we had that chance to win the game. Like, I really believe that we had moments in the final minutes where Galvin put in that perfect rubber to the left on like second or third. Fatape had the opportunity to make a play and kick it like a soccer ball, but instead he booted it straight into touch, and I was sitting here literally a spot like this. It was brutal to watch. Like, that moment, I knew the game was over in that very moment. That was the moment where you just sit back and think, yeah, we're not getting out of this one. That was kind of just one of those things. And if it was so tough to watch, but Tigers fans, I kept thinking about this morning. We cannot panic. This is one game. We were going to lose one game at one point, right? And we knew it was going to be a battle. Like, this team is legit. And considering the setbacks we had going into this game, like all the injuries, the different positions players were playing, were shifting into, like, we still put up a fight. We kept ourselves in the game. We kept the score close, like super close. We were in the lead there for majority of the second half, and we had chances to steal it at the end, but that alone tells me that this team is different from past Tigers. Like, this team has the grit and the fight, and like, old Tigers would have been so far in front score-wise, but now it's about learning from this game and throwing and moving forward, right? Like, we've got a massive week ahead of practice. We got to be preparing for all those things for the Broncos, and there's so much that us need to break down, like our defensive structure, our edge defense, and our ability to create and finish opportunities against these tough teams. I'm going to be going deep day by day up until the Brisbane's game, and all that we need to do this week to make sure that we are getting there. So make sure you're subscribed, because we have so much to talk about this week. And let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on last night's performance? Brutal honesty, that's what we want. No BS, no fluff and stuff. Who impressed you? Who disappointed you? And what was the biggest thing we need to fix before next week? Drop your thoughts below in the comments. Let's get the conversation going. So I am genuinely curious for everyone who wasn't on the live stream last night commenting, what did you guys think of the game overall? Standout players that stood out for the wrong reasons, and then what can we be improving going up against the Broncos, and what should we be worried about to go up against the Broncos, as they are a freaking strong team. They always have been. So I'm definitely nervous, but I know if we can commit this week, why couldn't we see a win? Why couldn't we see, a few tries in front of them and stopping them down defensively? Like, I think we have so much potential this year that, we can't help but dream big. That is our motto, is dream big. I mean, we are built different this year, Tigers fans. Like, there is something to believe. Like, we can be proud to wear the orange, black, and white, because there is just so much happening in this club. There's rumors of, signing different players, keeping Galvin locked in. Like, he last night showed that he is definitely the future of this club. The way he was navigating that field and creating plays and taking charge was beautiful. I have loved seeing him evolve as a player since the pre-seasons, and pair that with people like Luai and Api, like the mad dummy dashes from Api and Luai, crossing that field, putting those little kicks, finding those gaps. it is literally perfection in the making. So yeah, again, let me know in the comments how are you guys feeling after last night. We're all grieving together. It was a tough loss, especially at Campbelltown. It's that Campbelltown curse, you know. But yeah, overall, super pumped for the boys going forward. We have so much to actually dream big about. It's crazy. And as always, guys, take it easy, man. Like, enjoy this week. It's going to be a great week. We're going to get our crap together, and we're going to come back stronger and better than ever next week. So yeah, as always, dream big, take it easy. Geordie out.